Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. This game's been out a while, but I've actually had a request to do this video, so we're doing first impressions as well as gameplay in the first one. Alright, here we go. I'm actually a Canadian myself, so see, this game is true to its heart.
Sought information for a living. That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done.
Oh, I guess I'm driving. Okay.
They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it.
So I think this is a one-lane road. Nice view. Oh.
When the roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway.
Often there's a road need to be closed to require too many speed. Interesting mess. Seems like a nice fall day. Ooh, edges. No tools. Alright, cool. So far I like this game. Kind of like, almost like Firewatch, that game. I should play Firewatch again. For you guys. I guess a cross between Firewatch and The Long Dark. Alright. What do we got in here? Oh, alright. Innocent. It will be good. Il y a faire un bon vivre. Alright. Oh. Province of Quebec in the setting, exhaustible abundance of natural resources, nothing. Heart of the wilderness, north is swarming with wolves, caribous, the Africa of America. Alright. Come experience the white jump. Alright. Good to know. Alright, we'll close you. Excuse me. We'll just close you up. Oh, we need the carbon because we don't care about the environment now.
Hamilton never mentioned a road-blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it. Still not a soul in sight. There was no point in waiting any longer. Carl had to figure this one out by himself. Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business.
Exactly.
William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here. The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent man. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy. Others, an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him enough to go on about scheming against him. Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people. Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, the target would become the man
himself. Oh wow, it's loading. So far I'm really liking this game. It's like a detective game. Apparently, where's the snow though?
Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the pain required urgent care.
Oh, there's the snow. Huh, that's a good image actually. But where did the snowstorm come from? It's like a beautiful snow. Oh, it's a nice beautiful snow, but where did it come from again?
The driver had taken off. It was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance.
Yeah, really.
Carl needed help.
Okay.
Such heart-wrenching Nordic poetry that was. But
Isabelle
Carl
tu
didn't care much
gagner
about
de sang
flowery
et tout.
language.
Oh yeah, sorry, there's English right there. Isabelle, gay meaning everything. You disappeared, so did purity. I would defend purity against the inside. Anything in the trunk? Can we open the trunk? Yeah.
It was so cold. Already Carl did not feel his toes anymore.
Let's go down. I think I saw a building. I was driving in. Yeah, yeah. How many logs we need? Matches are always good.
Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more and was now on his way to new adventures.
Ah. Oh, that's better. I? Okay, good. So I for inventory. Fire starter, matches, Polaroid chains. No, we need to use first aid. Alright, good. We're nice and warm. What's up? Let's go back to inventory. There's a Polaroid? Polaroid picture.
The Polaroid, Carl's long-standing and faithful ally, had seen its share of husbands caught red-handed cheating. There's always something out there waiting to be snapped away.
Alright, well, let's put that away. That's cool. Alright, so we heal. Let's can I take that backpack? Bed? Seriously? No need for it. Ooh, money. Can I take the money? Okay. Alright, I guess we're going back out in the cold. Now what? It's pretty obvious we need to fix our car. Oh, there we go. What did I do? Well, at least there's music.
Spread out on a few acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes, the Manistan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry.
No? What's going on? Am I supposed to go here? Stuck in a circle. Well, let's just turn the car around.
Now wasn't a good time to wander about. Hamilton was still out there.
Really? You won't let me out? Fine. All that work for nothing. Let's go then. Check out Roy's house later. Curse you, game. There's lights on and everything. So far, I'm still impressed with the game, even though I couldn't get out. Look at all these houses.
The truck was running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
Oh, I'm stuck in the loading screen. Alright, cool. So far I'm impressed with this game. I'm gonna play a bit longer. Alright. Turn the car off, please.
The pumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles.
Oh.
The fresh milk indicated a recent visit.
Cool.
Something fell to the bottom of the box.
Looks like no one's in there. Well, let's go inside the store first. What?
Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close. That the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized. Carl felt a chill down his spine and
Alright, sorry, I'm just trying to interrupt everything.
had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him?
Yeah, really, totally. Envelope.
What could be inside that envelope?
Mr.
Carl was
Joe.
taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service.
Well then, let's read. Oh, really? That's it? Mysterious unbranded cans. Well, that is always awesome. No thanks. I ate too many of those in North Korea. Ooh. Generous also serves as a post office for the locals. To open cash register, punch the price 2 numbers minimum. Press sale. Turn the crank 2 times. Punch a machine if it doesn't work. A secretary wouldn't be lectured. Quebec's Klondike. Oh. Exploiting our resources, the road to our future. Okay. Well, we want to keep that on. I don't want to freeze to death in this place.
An explosion suddenly occurred outside.
Ooh, first aids. Take the mail. I suppose we should check the explosion outside. Duct tape, matches.
According to that log, it seemed like the whole village owed some money to the general store. Carl was far more interested in the bunch of nearby addresses he had just gotten his hands on, though.
Ratch key. Nope. You're not gonna take the money?
Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees.
Oh.
A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see.
Yeah.
The snowstorm pummeled everything in its path. Carl was not surprised when he heard no tone.
Alright, well, I guess we should check out that explosion.
Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait,
Yeah.
was it about bears? Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this, as if an iceberg came out of the ground, that was a first.
Yeah, really. Well, let's check out. Let it be known you're nothing more than a brigand.
Hate was in the air. Seems like some villagers barely tolerated each other.
Yeah, really. We'll follow. We'll be back. It's okay if I can't see. I just want to see if I can pump.
The pumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store. The murder weapon. What was that doing there, Carl wondered. Hamilton must have been determined to keep some information secret to post this key. Shame he got unlucky. Everything made sense now. Poor Hamilton's denunciation was interrupted, and he figured it would be best to lock everything up and send the key to his correspondent, who would receive the box later on. Clever, but not enough.
Okay, now
That's what happens to ordinary people playing spy.
It is the citizen of Majesty and Queen economic chambers of the world must address what is follow the problem. What is happening in this world? I cannot write it like I request immediate help from my country. Live in the free world is a great government. Audible. What? This place is a mess. No. Really? Yeah,
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Alright, let's go. Still those pack of wolves. We got over here. Cleanest spot in the area. Can I use some of these tools? Hardware. Ooh, pliers. Alright. More wrenches. Screwdriver. Guess we're listening to the same thing. Okay, I don't need to hear that. Lots of medical supplies. Alright. Nothing in the car. Power. More unmarked bottles. With wires around them. Okay.
The crowbar was stuck under the lift. Notwithstanding Carl's imposing stature, car lifting wasn't part of his skill set yet. The crowbar was stuck under the lift.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Notwithstanding Carl's imposing stature, car lifting wasn't part of his skill set yet.
So what was the point of coming in here? Except for these unmarked bottles which have wires around them. The mysteriousness continues. Can I open the door? I have the key. What is the key to open for? Is this like a new mode of transportation that we're supposed to be doing? Alright, we're gonna end the game soon. Just Alright, you're getting cold, I know. Thought I gave power to that. What is the explosion? We're supposed to follow the walls. I don't really want to. Might have to. Well, that's frustrating. Alright, we'll quickly follow the walls, because something is up with the walls. Probably a bad idea.
Carl felt that the store and its surroundings still held their secrets, and he didn't like to miss out.
Now let's keep that picture. How many pictures am I supposed to be taking this?
Carl wondered what the hell could that thing be. It looked like a man fossilized in ice.
Track seems to stop there. Alright.
All of a sudden, Carl felt like he was pulled inside a world of dreams, a cold, unknown dimension. Somehow, self-control was slipping from his grasp.
Oh, hey buddy.
To all appearances, this was a hunting log. Better yet, a war diary.
Ooh, yeah. Beast enjoys long slumbers. Its sanctuary seems to be impaired. Ice is everywhere. I need to exercise patience, wait for it to come out. I think it's like a hunter. Beast now invades the settlements bordering the lake. It terrorizes the white people. They never see it coming. They feel it brings a cold dread. Beast excites the wolves, makes them more aggressive. One attacked me. I had to cut its throat. The blade digging into its flesh. That would explain why I see the wolves. Beast is getting closer to the villagers. Moves at night, bringing heavy snow and strong guts. Okay, I touched the ice, impressing the white man. I saw things, but I did not understand them. It was a part of the past, present, or one, as if I was a spider and my 8 eyes I could see backward, forward, sense. Huh.
What could these engraved numbers mean?
Yeah.
A fresh path suddenly appeared before Carl.
Let's follow it. Huh.
Carl had that feeling you get when you immerse your frozen hands in hot water. What happened? Now at least he knew who the unfortunate man petrified in ice was. Gilles Lachance, the general store's manager himself.
Huh. Alright, well, let's get inside and
That
then
had to be the worst parking job ever. Who was Carl to judge, though? It may be customary to park like that around these parts. Or not.
Alright, let's get in the general store and then we will save. So
Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold.
Alright, there we go. Can we save? Is there a save button? Options. Alright, well there you go guys. I hope you have a good day and a good evening. We'll have to heat up I guess because we're cold. That was a very good impressive game. I enjoy it. Have a good day and a good evening. We're going to keep playing this.